Welcome back. I'm your host, Darnell Jackson. And in this crypto report, in this super sized crypto report, we're going to be talking about bombshell news. Bombshell breaking news out of Texas. The Texas banks have gone crypto. Before we get into this game-changing news, make sure you subscribe to the number one channel in the universe on the internet. Check out all the reports, like them, share them, send them to your neighbors and friends. Now let's get back to the agenda. Breaking news. What an amazing week of news in crypto this week. This may be one of the biggest stories. Let's go right to the report. This story was reported here on Bitcoin.com, and I want to go in detail on this report because it's so important. But in summary, Texas announces that their state chartered banks can provide cryptocurrency custody services. All right. This is breaking news. What I'm going to do is literally read the announcement from the Texas Department of Banking. The reason, you'll find out why, uncovers a lot of very important information. Here is the letter itself from the Texas Department of Banking. This was published on June 10th, 2021. This is Industry Notice 2021-03. And it is written, titled Authority of Texas State Chartered Banks to provide virtual currency custody services to customers. Here's the letter. It reads, this notice affirms that Texas state chartered banks may provide customers with virtual currency custody services so long as the bank has adequate protocols in place to effectively manage the risks and comply with applicable law. Texas chartered banks have long provided their customers with safekeeping and custody services for a variety of assets. These services play a crucial role in the business of banking as customers look to banks to offer secure and dependable storage. While custody and safekeeping of virtual currencies will necessarily differ from that associated with more traditional assets, the Texas Department of Banking believes that the authority to provide these services with respect to virtual currencies already exists pursuant to Texas Finance Code 32001. So they're saying basically they did not have to change the law to allow this. That's basically what they're saying. It goes on to say, virtual currency is an electronic representation of value intended to be used as a medium of exchange, unit of account, or store of value. Virtual currencies do not exist in a physical form. Instead, they are intangible and exist only on the blockchain or distributed ledger associated with that virtual currency. The owner of the virtual currency holds cryptographic keys associated with the specific unit of virtual currency in a digital wallet. The keys enable the rightful owner of the virtual currency to access and utilize it further. I wanted to read this because this announcement is incredible news, but also extremely informative and really does a great job of explaining cryptocurrency. It goes on to say, What virtual currency custody services a bank chooses to offer will depend on the bank's expertise, risk, appetite, and business model. For instance, the bank may choose to allow the customer to retain direct control over their own virtual currency and merely store copies of the customer's private keys associated with that virtual currency. Alternatively, the bank may cause the customer to transfer their virtual currency directly to the control of the bank, creating new private keys that are held by the bank on behalf of the customer. As with the method of custody services, several secure storage options are available to the bank, each of which has distinctive characteristics pertaining to level of security and accessibility. The bank will have to determine which storage option best fits the circumstances. The department has previously determined that custody services may be provided by a Texas state chartered bank in either a fiduciary or non-fiduciary capacity. That's huge. When they include fiduciaries, these are people that are required by law to protect the interests of their clients. So they literally have to do the right thing. If they're involved in crypto, this is huge. So it says that in providing such services in a non-fiduciary capacity, the bank acts as a bailee, taking possession of the customer's asset for safekeeping while legal title to that asset remains with the customer. The extent of the bank's duties regarding the asset depends on the custodial agreement between bank and customer, but generally the bank owes its customer the duty to proper care, to keep the asset safely, and to return it unharmed upon request. A bank proposing to offer custody services in a fiduciary capacity must possess trust powers, which may require a charter amendment and or compliance with 7 Texas Administrative Code 3.23. Prior to doing so, in its fiduciary capacity, the bank has the authority to manage virtual currency as it would any other type of asset held in such capacity. So there's your regulation. The banks are going to have the first swing at the management of this implementation of crypto. Prior to a bank entering a new line of business, such as offering virtual currency services, it is incumbent on management to conduct due diligence and carefully examine the risk involved in offering a new product or service through a methodical risk assessment process. Should management and the board of directors decide to move forward, effective risk management systems and controls must be implemented to measure, monitor, and control relevant risks associated with custody of digital assets. Necessary controls consist of administrative controls such as policies, see regulation, procedures, technical controls such as access controls and authentication, and physical controls such as protection of hardware and data specific to the virtual currency held. The bank should also confirm the existence of adequate coverage with its insurance carrier. So you're seeing right now what the first steps of regulation will be. Due to the technical nature of holding virtual currency, the bank may choose to establish a relationship with a service provider with expertise in handling virtual currency. Therefore, it is incumbent on the bank to maintain a strong service provider oversight program that addresses risk in the service provider relationship from the first steps of due diligence through a potential termination of the service provider relationship. For more information on outsourcing technology services can be found in the Federal Financial Institutions Examination Council's IT Examination Handbook for Outsourcing Technology Services. Why did I read all of that long part at the end? The reason why is because that presents a huge opportunity for you entrepreneurs that want to take a chop at crypto. They're telling you right away that as a part of this announcement, there's going to be an opportunity for banks to outsource the services to manage their custodial services of crypto. Now, this is extreme, super news when you consider the GDP. Let's look at the GDP of Texas. First, let's look at the GDP of El Salvador. Everybody was talking about El Salvador. You're talking about $27 billion. That's the gross domestic product of El Salvador. Let's compare that to Texas. So when you look at the total GDP of El Salvador, you can imagine how much will be added to the market cap of Bitcoin. So now let's look at the GDP of should I call it El Texas or Tejas? You're talking about $1.7 trillion. Okay. So with the banks in Texas having the ability to basically right away to the public say, hey, come over here, buy your Bitcoin right through us, that's gonna probably attract, you can imagine you're gonna get many more times the deposits into Bitcoin from Texas than you will El Salvador, just due to the size of the economy. You're talking 1.7 trillion versus just 27 billion. All right. Okay. So this is very important. It's hard to really put in words how big this is. I really do believe that the Texas announcement is definitely bigger than the El Salvador announcement. And I really would like to hear your feedback about all of this. I think this will be extremely bullish because other states will follow suit and they will try to get on Texas level. Whatever Texas does, you can automatically expect certain states to follow suit. The way business works, many interconnected companies and industries, so I'll say bigger than companies, actually on the industry level, will always do commerce on the same platform. So when the state makes crypto available, then industries will start choosing crypto, then more states will come on board. This is the first shot of a huge change. Thank you for checking out this video. I love to hear your feedback on this amazing news. It seems like it's not that big of a deal, but it is. Make sure you check out Darnell Jackson Crypto. Subscribe. Share this video with your friends. Until the next time, peace.